Look up into the sky. Imagine the moon disappearing, and in its place, 384,000 kilometers away, is a golf ball. Not a moon-sized golf ball, a regular one, 4.3 centimeters across, dimples and everything. From here on Earth, you wouldn't even see it, not with the naked eye. The night sky will look empty except for stars. But while you're wondering, where's the moon? The planet below your feet is already starting to feel the difference. Right now, the moon's gravity pulls our ocean towards it, creating high tides. On the opposite side of the planet, another high tide forms from water being left behind as Earth is pulled slightly toward the moon. But with a golf ball, its gravitational pull will be so tiny it's practically zero, about 20 orders of magnitude weaker than the moon's. It couldn't shift a bathtub of water, let alone an ocean of water. And without the moon, tides would still exist, but only from the sun's gravity. Solar tides are about 1/3 as strong as lunar tides, which means high tides will be barely noticeable. Low tides wouldn't pull the shoreline far back, and that coastal ecosystem that depends on strong tidal cycles, like mussel beds, mangrove forests, and tidal flats, would start collapsing. Marine animals that rely on tides for feeding and breeding will lose their natural schedule. In the short term, fishing industries will shrink, and in the long term, some species might vanish entirely. In the night, moonlight is bright enough to walk by, even read by. It's so familiar we don't even think about it. Replace it with a golf ball and you get nothing. The golf ball will be too small and too far to reflect enough light for our eyes to notice. The result? The nights will be much darker. Nocturnal animals that use moonlight to hunt or navigate, like owls, moths, and some fish, will be thrown off and lost in the night. Some predators would have the advantage, while others would struggle to find food. Humans would notice too. Without moonlight, the outdoor will feel emptier and more alien. Camping, hiking, and even driving in rural areas will be very different experiences. Just imagine driving in the pitch dark. And also, the moon's gravity doesn't just move water, it stabilizes Earth's axial tilt. That tilt is why we have consistent seasons. With no moon to steady it, Earth's tilt could slowly wander over thousands of years. The process isn't instant, but even small changes over decades could shift climate patterns. Winters in some regions will get colder in decades, summer could get hotter instantly, and storm tracks and rainfall pattern could shift, affecting crops and water supplies around the world. We wouldn't notice huge changes in a single human lifetime, but over generations, this slow wobble would add up very, very fast. Tides aren't just waves on the beach, they help drive ocean currents. The moon's pull moves massive amount of water, mixing the oceans and helping transport heat around the globe. With weaker solar tides, that mixing will slow down, which could mean that some coastal waters become stagnant, hurting marine lives. Slower circulation of warm and cold water, which would eventually change weather patterns around the world, and polar regions warming or cool faster than they do now. Climate is a delicate balance, and the moon is one of the quiet forces keeping it steady. But on the ground, many animals run on more than just the sun's schedule. They also follow the moon. Remove it, and nature's timing starts breaking apart. In the oceans, entire breeding cycles are tied to the lunar calendar. Certain fish, squid and shellfish, release eggs during the highest tides, using the extra water flow to spread their young far and wide. With only weak solar tides, those events wouldn't work the same way. Eggs would settle too close to shore, becoming easy meals for predators. On land, moonlight shapes the balance between predator and prey. Lions, foxes, and other hunters often adjust their activity depending on how bright the night is. while prey animals use brighter nights to spot threats sooner. Without moonlight, every night becomes a perfect hunting night, giving predators an advantage and forcing prey to adapt fast. Some insects, like moths and certain beetles, navigate by keeping the moon at a fixed angle in their vision. Without it, they become disoriented, wasting energy or ending up far from feeding areas. And for some migratory birds, the moon's position in the sky works like a built-in compass. Without it, they would have veered hundreds of kilometers off course. Without the moon, insects can become disoriented and spiral towards the nearest artificial light, a phenomenon already seen in cities, where confused insects cluster under street lamps until they die from exhaustion. All insects living around cities might swarm towards the nearest light, and our cities could be filled with insects in the night and dead insects in the morning. But how would humans respond? Well, humans respond to the moon more than you realize. Studies show that around the full moon, people tend to sleep less and fall asleep later, possibly because of increased brightness at night. Without the moon, nights could always be equally dark. That might help people sleep better, but it could also throw off cultures and traditions that rely on moonlit nights, from farming schedules to religious observance. So, what about our golf ball? What about our new moon that just stays up there? Well, at first, yes, it will orbit Earth at around the same speed the moon does now, roughly 1 kilometer per second. But it will be so light that tiny forces could push it off course. Solar radiation could slowly nudge it. Impacts from micrometeorites could change the moon's path, and Earth's gravity might eventually pull the new Gulf moon towards it. If it did fall towards Earth, well, it wouldn't survive entry. The air would burn it up in a fraction of a second, leaving nothing behind except a brief flash in the sky. And within days, the ocean's rhythms would be off. Within months, coastal ecosystems would start to shift. And within decades, Earth's tilt might begin to wander. For humans in the present, fishermen would notice weaker tides, stargazers would have darker skies, and farmers might see subtle changes in weather patterns over the years. The golf ball might seem harmless, but the moon isn't just a light in the sky, it's a key player in Earth's system. Removes it, and the planet becomes a little less stable and a little less predictable. A golf ball instead of the moon is funny to imagine until you realize what we lose. No tides worth mentioning, no steady seasons, no bright nights. The moon might seem distant, but it's one of the reasons why Earth feels like home. And no offense to golf, but in this game, the moon is way above par. So what do you think? Do you think we would survive with the moon being a golf ball? Drop a comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on the no-brainer for science, history, and philosophy. Check out our Instagram and X for more content. And stay tuned for our latest videos, or go check out some of our best old videos.